Hello friends, Molly Ponfadith here, CEO of the SOAR Community Network and co-founder of the SOAR Community Nebula. Our goal this year is to bring to you 1,000 champions of change and community builders. And today I'm delighted to bring to you Tambra Raye Stevenson. Thank you so much, Tambra, for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate your time today. So please reintroduce yourself to our audience now and let us know what you're currently doing in the world.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tambra Raye Stevenson. I'm founder and CEO of WANDA, which is Women Advancing Nutrition, Dietetics, and Agriculture, and based in Washington, D.C., where we're a registered nonprofit. WANDA began in 2016 with a mission of really looking at how to empower more women and girls in the food system by becoming the food heroes that our communities need to create healthy, sustainable communities. So right now we launched a children's book series to really be the calling card of our message, starring our heroine, Little Wanda, who goes on a journey to find the foods with the help of Wanda women to help heal her community. So she hops from Nigeria to Ethiopia, Kenya, and so many other countries, and it highlights not only the beauty but the power of women when we come together and work and really provide that wisdom to the next generation. So now we want to take that book and turn it into a community and course. So we're focused on creating an academy where we help further the mission of it, from moms who read it who say we want to organize our communities and share this with other women. So we have had the privilege to partner with a large healthcare system affiliated with Hopkins to help with that launch later this summer.
That's so fantastic. What inspired you to move in this direction personally and launch something that was around nutrition and food and women? How did that all kind of come together for you?
Yes, for me, one, I grew up in Oklahoma in an African diasporan household, and I was that curious, concerned kid who always had questions and no one had answers of why family members were dying from things that I thought was preventable. So you will find me at the local bookstore in my grandma's neighborhood, just reading around naturopathic medicine and believing that being a doctor was my future, only to learn that nutrition, until I went into college, being a first generation college student, was an actual career. And that was a game changer for me, studying and doing nutrition and research, not only in Oklahoma, but at other well-known universities. And so that made me realize that, wow, if more people knew about the power of food to heal us, and being again connected to the land, not just nutrition in a petri dish, but understanding how really connecting back to our roots is part of the healing process as well. And that means connecting to the community and seeing that everything that we need is already within. And so that's the most powerful mantra that we try to echo through the first book to people, and really to children, when they feel that everything around them is darkness, that the light is within them, and they just have to seek and find it, and it will be there.
I love that message. It's beautiful. So, Tambra, when in your life have you experienced love, empathy, kindness, mentorship, guidance that really help you to become the person that you are today? It may be a person, it may be a collective, but can you share a little bit more on that topic?
Yeah, I definitely feel the Wendy Williams Friend in My Head piece. I just finished watching a documentary on Maya Angelou, and I think about a combination of those who have been in my life, yeah, in the physical manner, but also in the spiritual manner. And so for me, one of my first mentors, yes, everyone loves to say their moms, but I think for me, being in elementary and picking up I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou, her words spoke to me. I felt like that caged bird. Today, I actually in my kitchen window still have, as a symbol, a cage with a bird on top, to just remember the importance of finding the value in our voice and being authentic in that, to help liberate others to find their own freedom. And so mentorship comes in many different ways. And I think because I found it for me in books, as well as in people, and I say being in Oklahoma, there was the demographic, we didn't have many people of color where I live. And those that I found was mentoring from my high school principal, who's a Black woman, just because having not known people who have gone to college, it was powerful for me to see that it was a reality for someone in close proximity to me. And so that helped to forge that next journey. And so it literally is the journey of little Wanda, that every step along the way I found the healing elixir that I needed from that woman to carry me on. And so it really ended up taking that village. And it's because of that village that I realized how important that mentorship, that sisterhood, from a multi-generational perspective, is so critically important for us to see the possibilities in our own lives and
Mm.
fulfill our purpose, most of all.
And so it makes sense why your nonprofit is built to be so, community to be so central to the mission that you have.
Definitely.
When you think of change agents and community builders, and you've been around them and you're one yourself, are there certain characteristics or attributes that you really believe are essential to advance movements forward?
Most definitely. I've had to think a lot about this because I found that from studying biographies of others, I try to find a common thread that links them all. And and a lot of work has been done in analyzing really this value-based leadership, that to be a true leader, understanding your own wounds and healing them is critical. And to also understand that you being concerned in a very authentic, empathetic kind of way to the complexities of life, and being willing to share your own journey, is healing within itself. That's what I saw within Maya. And I think the other part for me is understanding that we all lead at different levels in different ways. Um, and that has become very clear when I sometimes in Wanda think about how I want more women to step up. And I think from just talking to a younger Wanda woman saying, well, maybe she's leading in her own way. And that was just a humble reminder that yes, there is no classical way in which leadership should be exemplified, that we show leadership even in our silence and even for those who are very vocal. And I think there's something said to all the varying degrees of diversity of leadership that we have to recognize and embrace.
Mm. I love that you said that. I think we spend a lot of time reading books and then we like that author or we like that particular path or
Mm-hmm.
school of thought, and then we find other books to reinforce that particular school of thought, and then and then it goes on and on. And once in a while, you meet people, and you pick up a book or an article, and it blows your mind because it's from a different school of thought, and you never imagine that you can look at leadership from a different lens. And I think that that's really where growth happens. So I'm really reiterating that point that you mentioned. It's the first time that someone answered that question in that way. So I thought that was very interesting. As we move through this conversation, I would love for you to go in more detail about your nonprofit, for sure, your movement, your mission, and also if you'd like to mention any other causes, initiatives, or specific nonprofits that you support that you would like to feature and propel forward.
Most definitely. For me with Wanda, I operated a bit like a mad scientist, throwing ideas at the wall and seeing what sticks. We've done everything from hosting little WANDA Garden Day parties with this idea of how do we create a communal birthday that's healthy and happy for children to celebrate, to doing train the trainers with school teachers, of incorporating new healthy ways in celebrating our children in the classroom, to having WANDA Awards, to highlighting those who have already trailblazed before us that may be not recognized as hidden figures in the food system. And then also developing stronger partnerships and understanding that though you strike out on your own in creating a space that you saw that was desperately void and needed, that you still are not an island, and we still are a chain of islands creating this ecosystem operating together to ultimately change the course of a generation. And that has become abundantly clear over the years. And I think by me and us really as WANDA growing organically, just like we believe in a sustainable agricultural system, that it's allowed me to observe and digest and really determine what proper path and legacy do we wish to build. Yes, we could have easily thrown up the academy in the first year, put our shingle out there, work through um, the kinks of developing anything as an engineer, but at the same time, when you're looking to be cultural change agents in a dynamic where, from a problem perspective, we are dealing with remnants of historical traumas that are still embedded within our minds and our bodies, and we harbor that and we self-medicate in very unhealing ways, and we become disconnected to the very spiritual forces that make up nature. And this is what our ancestors knew, that we call cosmology, or everything but the religion that we are supposed to espouse to. And it was really trusting myself, going through my own healing, that I realized that, number one, we're never fully healed. We're just constantly transforming into our better selves. And that food becomes a powerful metaphor to show what that better self can and should look like if we give ourselves permission to fulfill our God-given purpose. And so though WANDA is not a religious organization, the very understanding of Mother Earth and Mama Africa being eclipsed like the sun, nature is a metaphor for our life and providing wisdom in how we are to nourish not only the world but ourselves. And that's why, for me, cultivating this sisterhood of self-love and service is paramount, when so many organizations that bring women together, we're always doing the work. We're the worker bees, and we should acknowledge that we also are queens, and those queens need greens and beans too.
I love that so much. Well, I know that it's not easy to have this huge vision and to work every day to create a reality around that vision and that mission when things are not as smooth as we would like, and things are thrown at us. Are there are there tools that you use? Are there mantras? Is there a philosophy that you follow or a quote that really helps you to come back to center and say, okay, I can do this, and then help you move forward?
Yeah, I definitely, having practiced yoga, that definitely helped to open up, and knowing that all that wisdom is within me. And that became one of my very first mantras to embrace. And why it's powerful is because uh, for those who are even religious, who understand that there's always that saying, not to be in this world but not of this world. So recognizing that we're in a secular world and we're always trying to hone in on our spiritual groundedness. And so at the seat of our soul, where our heart lies, is that spiritual force and energy that wakes us up and gives us life again. And to remember that, when so many times we are to be convinced through commercials, through a salesperson that you need this thing, this product to make you feel better. There is no substitute for finding that peace within, and that's where focusing on that energy and saying, all I need is already within. All I need is already within. Like just waking up at 5 a.m., 3 a.m. at peak energy and meditate and write on what does that mean to you. That's the level of reflection and introspection that has to happen. And that's that nourishment of self. That is the first meal of the day that sometimes we ignore, and we grow hunger. Our souls are hungry, and we feed it in ways in which we believe that will give us the nourishment we need, but it's really fake food for the soul. And so we look at how do we give ourselves true soul food.
Mm. When you imagine a better world, what does that better world look like through your eyes?
Well, it looks like Wanda's world for me. I've completely drunk the juice, and I truly believe that when we look at how wars are made in the world and who provides the healing. And I remember there was a quote someone just posted on Twitter last week, and I responded back about this dynamic of women trusting women and hearing a message that women can't trust one another. And I hadn't thought about it until it was posted. And I was like, that sounds like a divide and conquer strategy, that if you insert a narrative, whether it's built on falsehoods, but sounds vaguely true, then maybe you'll believe it. And then I simply said, have you ever reflected on a time when you needed someone who was there? It was a woman. And that was my truth. And I knew it was the truth for so many. So that's what holds me, that if we were to envision a world, women would make decisions. They would do their authentic purpose, which is to heal. That is their divine feminine power, in my humble opinion. And that's the legacy that we want to build and reshift the balance of power in the world.
Thank you, Wanda.
You're welcome.
Beautiful project and beautiful mission. I appreciate you. How can our community specifically support you right now? What are one or two ways in which we can help activate our community to support your mission?
That's wonderful. One is definitely like us on all of our social media. Follow us at iamwanda.org is our website, and our handle on social media is iamwandaorg. So sign up, share if you believe you know someone who could benefit from supporting WANDA, if you believe that our mission and message resonates as a potential partner. Please feel free to reach out at hello@iamwanda.org. And as we look to launch this new ecosystem of a community, though we are focused on WANDA women, it does not preclude men from believing that they are the gate openers of opportunity. And if that means from a funding perspective, distribution, as we develop more books and tools for children with our WANDA dolls, there's a place for everyone to help bring equity and sustainability to communities to end poverty. And that means uplifting the communities that have been most harmed and marginalized, and that is WANDA women.
Thank you so much, Tambra. Thank you
Thank
for your
you.
time. I really appreciate the work that you're doing and your perspective. For those that are watching, please learn more about this WANDA organization, iamwanda.org. Please visit, please comment, please make sure you connect with Tambra. For those, again, who are following us, we really appreciate you. Please remember to nominate yourself and someone in your community who's making a huge impact. We'd love to feature them. Visit us at nebula.soarcommunitynetwork.com. Thank you so much.